Hello there, how are you? Welcome back to How I Did It. Well, my company has all left me back to South Florida and back over to Scotland. A shout out to Sarah and Stuart on their brand new baby girl. Congratulations. Alrighty then, time for me to get these floors finished up, and I found out that the 3% hydrogen peroxide was absolutely the way to go. Bleach, CLR, alcohol, ammonia, they all have their place, but you can't mix these chemicals, and using the hydrogen peroxide in a mop bucket of water worked well on just the regular soil, and then on these heavier stains you saw me pour that hydrogen peroxide right on that heavy stain. It seems to help. The other thing that I opted to do while I had the company in town, I purchased a OEM Oreck scrub brush head for my machine here. It seems to do a great job pulling out the bulk of the pitted soil, and then going back over it with my little diamond pads really kind of honed it down and got the general surface area polished up pretty nice. Now this is behind the refrigerator here. I dumped some straight peroxide on it, let it soak for a while, came back over it here with the scrub brush, and you'll see it really came out well. There's a couple of rust areas there that I may go back over it before I seal the floor with some CLR, but again, the peroxide seems to be the cleaning agent that works the best for this terrazzo. Now there's some areas on the terrazzo you'll notice that they seem like they're stained, and those areas are actually still wet. It's kind of like with concrete. When you get concrete wet, it gets a darker color to it. When it dries out, it becomes more white. Overall, I am really tickled with how these floors came out. I was right at about $1,000 with trying all the different peroxide, ammonia, and whatnot, and the different pads and the machine. Now, had I hired a professional, I wouldn't have any of those supplies left over. I wouldn't have the machine, and it would have cost me right at $12,000. So I saved about $11,000 doing this myself. Overall, it took me a solid, hardcore week of doing these floors. It is a very slow, long, tedious process, but it is worth it. Don't rush it. Take your time. The beauty of owning this machine, I didn't feel that anxiousness or that rush because I had to get the buffer back to the big box store. So overall, my honest opinion on the Oreck, fantastic machine. I like this commercial grade one just because it seems to be a little bit more heavy duty. The peroxide is just something you can purchase off of Amazon, so peroxide is peroxide. Those diamond pads, I think that they did a fantastic job in conjunction with the Oreck scrub brush pad. Now I went with the Oreck name brand because the reviews on the generics were not very high. Using the scrub brush prior to using those diamond coated pads made all the difference in my opinion. This is just a reminder, I went from this to this. Now again, remember, this floor was uncovered, unsealed, and walked on heavy use for like the last 10 or 15 years, so it took a little bit more work, but overall it came out pretty darn good, and I saved about 11 grand. Alrighty, y'all take care, have an absolutely wonderful and blessed week.